We're in Huntington Beach. Tell me what made you come out here today?
You, man. I heard you were going to be here.
Oh, wow. Huge fan. I loved it.
I appreciate the interview last time. But, yeah, I heard there was a freedom rally. I know it's happening all over the world, internationally, just anti-lockdown, pro-freedom. And I just think it's really important.
What do you think about with Biden in office right now, where America's going now? Where do you think it's all going? How is this going to end? Is the New World Order coming in rapid speed right now, or what?
I think it's just incompetence rotting to the top, and I think there's a lot of issues, but for sure the medical tyranny and the lockdown, it's like an ever-expanding goalpost, and I think people thought, you know, we wear masks for 3 weeks, we're going to be free. 15 days to slow the spread. And then it's a year, and now they have the vaccine and the vaccine passport. So it's not anti-vaxxer, it's not anti-science to put your foot down and say, if you want to get it, that's fine, but forcing people to do it, and they don't have a timeline. I mean, they have color-coded this and that, and yeah, it's great to see so many people standing up for freedom, because I don't think this is going away.
What were you saying about the climate change and what they want to do?
Well, they're mentioning it in the press, the climate lockdown. So they're now saying, you know, if we do this every 2 years, it'll be better for the climate because, you know, when less people drive, less emissions. So they're trying to tie that, and it's just the ever-expanding goalpost. I think that's going to be the next play as soon as this kind of runs out. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought that out. So I don't think this is a temporary thing. I think it's like a permanent power grab. And
then with the COVID passports, that's coming out. Don't you think that's going to increase to almost everything? Like to go anywhere, go to the store?
It's never going to stop. And a lot of conservatives were complaining a few years ago about the social credit score in China. Even liberals were. And that's all came here times 3. And that's all what it is. And communism, you know, people say it's crazy to talk about, but I've read Karl Marx's Communist Manifesto. He wanted control of the banking system, complete monopoly with a central bank. He wanted control of media, control of agriculture, control of transportation, and it seems like that's what they're doing. But in olden times, it was more physical, I think, and a little bit psychological. Now they have so much digital stuff. So you have passports, Facebook, Google, they're all working together. This could be a nightmare. And in America, I want to say this, it's worse in the UK. They're getting arrested for doing this in the UK for breaching COVID violations. In Canada, I know Chris Sky has been challenging them, getting arrested, all this crazy cops and stuff. Here you still have the First Amendment. You have the ability to do this and not have nearly as much backlash as in Europe and other countries. So people need to use it and put their foot down in some way, because they're just going to keep pushing. It's ridiculous.
What are your thoughts on Biden the other day falling down the stairs? Is he fit to be president?
He's embarrassing, and I think the press should be ashamed of themselves. I mean, he embarrassed himself in front of China, Russia, fell up the stairs, not down the stairs, up the stairs. Thank goodness not down the stairs, because that would have hurt. But he's a joke, and I think the press should be ashamed of themselves for just propping him up. It's one thing to like him and vote for him. It's another thing to just be a PR team for him. The fact checkers are not fact checkers. They're like political operative PR teams. Oh, fact check, no, he didn't fall. He tripped on his shoe. Fact check, he would never lie. Fact check, the Dakota pipeline, he didn't say he was going to not raise your tax. It's like their whole scheme is just covering for him, and it's so obvious to anybody with eyes. It's like, maybe you don't like Trump, but this guy belongs in a nursing home, and I think they're going to have to get rid of him soon for Kamala, because he's not coherent.
Tell me, where should people get their news from? Or where do you get your news from?
I would say just have a good filter, because there's a lot of bias. There's a lot of fake headlines and stuff. So I would say just have a good filter. Common sense, reason, wisdom, things that they've kind of taken away. The ability to look at something, read further, and just be fair about it. You know, whether it's the left or the right. So I don't know that I have like a go-to news source. I just try to filter it myself, because it's like, it's too much. I mean, you wake up, I always drink coffee, but now you go into Twitter, you got 1,000 opinions. It's like a psychological nightmare. Combined with the lockdowns, combined with not even being able to see people's smiles, that's what they're not talking about. This is like overwhelming for a lot of humans. And we've already had a suicide problem, opioid problem. And if you really care about the kids and the people of this country, that needs to work its way into the conversation when we're talking about lockdowns and social isolation.
Tell me, there's a lot of hopefuls out there that Trump's coming back before 2024. Is that going to happen?
I personally hope not. I voted for him. I'd vote for his son before I voted for him, because I feel like he was really weak on the lockdowns. He was pro Operation Warp Speed, just bragging about funneling money to these companies. And I'm not anti-vaccine, but when you give that much money to companies and mass testing and mass tracing, they're going to use it against us. So I feel like he totally missed the ball on that. DeSantis is doing a way better job. And I want to say what DeSantis did was they're getting fines in certain areas of Florida like they are in liberal areas of California. He's pardoning the fines so the business owners don't get fined. So now they don't fine people in Florida because he's using his power to pardon the fines. He's saying no vaccine passports, and if you try to do it in a private company, I'm going to look into that. That's real leadership. I think Trump was crushing it for 3 years, but they hit him in a blind spot, and it seems to me like he just keeps saying the same 4 things, where I feel like his son understands it more. I'd rather his son run, Candace Owens, Rand Paul, almost anyone, because he had the chance, and I feel like he stuck to the Operation Warp Speed. I'm saving lives. My lockdown was good, and I appreciate what he did, but you got the Trump 2024. I just don't feel like voting for him again. I feel like he kind of blew it, but respect to him.
All right, there you go. From An0maly here in Huntington Beach, guys. This is Jess Weber for Weber's Way.
Pray to God, yeah. Pray to God, yeah.